if God is the giver of all good gifts, I have to trust that somewhere in this space of contentment and desire, there's a space for me to surrender to God and trust Him.
Hi, I'm Jen from Middays on KSBJ, joined by Tara-Leigh Cobble of the Bible Recap, of the God Shot, which you've heard on KSBJ. And today, let's talk about being a single sister, being a single brother, because I'm guessing you've also received this question. So, why aren't you married? And people mean it well, I think, but it's a very off-putting question because it can feel like now I have to explain why I'm not where this person thinks I should be, to the point I've even found myself at times apologizing.
Oh, wow.
And I shouldn't do that. I'm happy where I am, but at the same time, it's so strange. So I'm curious, how do you respond when you receive a comment like that?
Oh, yeah. I think people do mean it as a compliment, right? They like, how can somebody as amazing as you still be single? Why hasn't somebody snatched you up? And I think they do mean it well because they're trying to express the value that they believe that we have. You know, sometimes for us, if we're sitting in a space of being frustrated with our singleness, it hits to that thing. Like, I mean, I've at times felt like, yeah, why am I single? Like, why hasn't somebody snatched me? Like it anchors into the frustration that I'm already carrying. And so I don't receive it as the compliment that it is intended as sometimes. And I think that says a lot about like what's happening in my heart, that it stirs up that frustration. One of the things I've had to lean into is just trusting the goodness and the sovereignty of God over the story of my whole life, which includes the story of my singleness. So what that means is God's best possible gift to me in this specific moment is my singleness. I do hope that there will be a day that His specific gift to me is marriage. But when Paul talks about singleness and marriage, he talks about God as the giver of those gifts. The giver of the gift is the one who decides what gift they give and when they give it. I don't get to decide what gift I'm given and when. Sometimes I'll just say like, oh man, I feel like we should ask God that question. You know, like I would love to have a different gift. And when He sees fit, I'm sure He'll give me a different gift, and I'm going to try to rejoice in this gift for now and keep hoping that I get a different gift someday. So it really forces me to look at the posture of my heart in my singleness and the posture that I have toward God, who is the giver of singleness and the giver of marriage.
Well, you reminded me of a scripture, I want to say in Psalms, no good thing does He withhold from those who love Him. And so if I can get my mind on scripture, that's much better than what I don't have, because that leads me to another topic. If you're not where you want to be in life, whatever it is, it can be discouraging, and you focus on that and you lose track of how many blessings you have. How do you encourage a friend who is wishing they were in the next season, or something you do that encourage yourself and your mind starts going to a place you know it shouldn't because it doesn't end well?
Yeah, I feel like, and I don't know if you feel this similar way, but for me, there's this tension between wanting to be content and joyful and grateful for the gifts that I have and where I am, and looking at the things that I long for and still having enough hope to ask God for those things and to trust that like you said, no good thing does He withhold from those who walk uprightly. And so if God is the giver of all good gifts, and marriage is a good gift, and singleness is a good gift, I have to trust that somewhere in this space of contentment and desire, there's a space for me to surrender to God and trust Him. So if I only have contentment and I have no desires, then I kind of don't even need to trust God for the future. And if I don't have contentment and I only have desires, then I'm not even trusting God for the now. And in those spaces of lack and tension are the space where I get to say, I have a desire, do with it what you will. Man, it is really hard to entrust that to a God that you don't know, because I don't trust people I don't know. And it is really hard to know someone you don't spend time with. And so for me, the way that I'm going to set my heart on straight, the way I'm going to live well in that tension, is if I'm trusting God by knowing Him, by spending time with Him, by being in His Word, by being around His people, by engaging in the intimacy of my relationship with Him. And the hope that I have, whether this space that I'm in now ever moves to these longings fulfilled or not, is that Psalm 16:11 says, in His presence there is fullness of joy. At His right hand there are pleasures forevermore. And so longings fulfilled or unfulfilled, I'm already engaging with the one eternal relationship that I have that brings me fullness of joy forevermore. So that's the thing that I encourage other singles to do, is in our hopelessness, we have to lean it, like hope is a person. And we lean into the person of hope. We lean into the person of Christ in those spaces where we don't have what we want. What about you? What do you do?
I hang out with some of my single friends. I mean, that's one thing that comes to mind, because when you're only around people that are married with kids, then I think that can be more challenging. But I also like listening to scripture, like in the morning and at night, to keep my mind in a good place.
Yeah.
Because you reminded me as you were talking, and you shared Psalm 16:11, godliness with contentment is great gain. And so if I can just saturate my mind with who he is and what he's done, then that helps change what I think I want, whether or not I get it, to believe that nothing is impossible for him. But where I am right now, he knew this time would come, and I want to enjoy it. I don't want to wish it away and look back in 5 years and think I wasted so much time because I was frustrated that I wasn't where I thought that I should be. I don't want to waste time. I've done that before. So I like that more time spent with him gets my mind right.
Yeah, agreed.
Well, we could go on and on and on talking about dating stories, which are either good times or good stories, but we'll save that for our next video.
Good times or good stories.
Exactly. We'll save that for our sequel, but would love if you want to join more with Tara-Leigh. You can check out The God Shot on KSBJ, or we'll link below so you can binge all the episodes that you missed, because I know there's a lot. Thank you so much for your time. And
Thanks for having me.
Thanks for joining us today.